Back with us here on Trading Hour, on to some corporate conversations. Then the Krsnaa Diagnostics is the management on our radar. The board has approved a 23.5% stake acquisition in Apulki Healthcare. And with this, the company will get exclusive partnership and operating and maintaining diagnostic services of Apulki's hospitals. Now, to discuss more on this, we are now being joined by Mitesh Dave, the Group CEO of Krsnaa Diagnostics. Mr. Dave, good morning. Thank you so much for joining in. I'd like to speak to you more about this acquisition first. Can you tell us more about this? What does this have a financial impact on your balance sheet post this acquisition? And is there a plan to increase this 23.5% stake further in Apulki?
Yeah, hi, good morning, first of all. And thanks for giving me an opportunity. Well, if I should talk around how it's going to impact our balance sheet or the overall financial structure, as such, there won't be anything because it's going through the internal accruals incomplete. And with that, it gives us a future horizon also when we are looking at the top line.
Okay. So give us some more details on this, Mr. Dave. I wanted to understand how much will you be paying for this 23.5% stake. What is the top line that you're talking about? Your volumes will increase, of course, because you're getting the rights to operate and manage the diagnostics lab under Apulki Healthcare. So how do you see increase in volumes? And will it be largely in radiology? Will those kind of volumes see an increase for you?
Exactly. So first of all, while details around the number of the quantum of overall investment will be shared once after the we are going to conclude with the few condition precedent. But however, answering to your second piece, wherein the volumes, certainly, so today the volumes are on rise, looking to the cardiac and the cancer areas, and it gives Krsnaa a larger exposure to the larger base to provide integrated and comprehensive suite of entire diagnostic services. So with that, we have in total volume which is coming out from this oncology and cancer care area, cardiac care areas, but also it will cater to the ophthalmology or maybe the ENT or any other allied areas where there is a need of a diagnostics. It varies, it adds up from the radiology as well as to the pathology, from advanced imaging for CT, MRI, PET, USG, to the routine to the specialized pathology as well.
By when are you expecting to complete this transaction, Mr. Dave?
It may take another 10 to 15 days time to conclude that.
And which is post which you would talk about the financial considerations?
Yes.
And is there a plan to increase this stake further in the future?
So, well, that's going to be the way the overall thing shapes up into the future times. However, for now, it's on the card to establish what all of the cards to go with the one which we have bagged it for, which is like Apulki in Pune and KDMC. And as such, Apulki hasn't planned to set up another 10. So it's important first to stabilize and to smoothen the operations and then looking around to invest or to take more stake around or not.
Okay. So, Mr. Dave, give us a sense of what is the current number of hospitals or, centers does Apulki Healthcare have right now, which you will be able to manage? What are their plans to increase going forward? That would mean higher volumes for you as well. And with all of these segments coming up, radiology and the other high margin segments, will this mean a margin increase for you going forward as well and in FY25 itself?
Yes. So Apulki currently has two hospitals. One is with the Baner and one is in the Pune and second in the Mumbai. And over the future, in next 10 decade, and it's in next decade, it's going to have close to 10 other hospitals coming up, where Krsnaa poised to have exclusive diagnostic partners. Talking around the overall financial impact in term positive, it will carry the positive financial impact because of the way the overall structuring has been made and the rates at which this going to be. Currently, Krsnaa is more around the CGHS plus discounting, wherein this is going to be at a CGHS level. So it will have a positive impact on the overall PAT and the EBITDA as well.
Just wanted to follow up on that. Right now, what's your split like? How much is coming from, say, pathology, radiology versus the other segments? And with this acquisition, will that mix change for you?
Yes, that mix is going to get changed, but that's going to be over the time because it's going to start their operations in the coming financial year. Number one. Number two, currently, if you'll see, our mix is around approx 45-55 pathology versus radiology. And as and when this Apulki getting started and over the time, the overall mix might be see across certain changes, but not to the larger extent.
Mr. Dave, I wanted to ask you about the current number of CT scan machines and that you are currently operational in. You had mentioned in your first quarter earnings call that you are operational currently in 21 CT scan centers, particularly in the state of Maharashtra itself, and there are plans to install another 18. Is that plan on track? And if you could give us a sense of how many overall across the country are you operating in?
So currently, if you'll see that in Maharashtra, with the quarter two coming to end, we are operational at 36 facilities. So if we'll go with that, another 3 which we had shared it out in the first quarter's earnings call, we're going to get live by the end of this month. So we are pretty much on the track with that. And overall in radiology, if we'll talk around, we have close to 60 plus kind of imaging centers as of now spread across.
Okay. Mr. Dave, I wanted to understand demand trends in quarter two. We are towards the end of quarter two as well. Quarter one was very strong for the company. You saw a 20% growth. Margins expanded to 25%. Is this a trend that would continue, or do you think second half will be better than first half?
So certainly second half always carries little impact from the seasonal as well. Wherein the cases on rise because of the rainy seasons, there are the greater instances as well. So you can expect something better than the quarter one.
Okay, so there'll be betterment than quarter one. So what kind of targets do you have for FY25? Margins have improved to 25%. You've done 26% as well in quarter one. Is that a range that we can look at? And the 20% growth that you saw, do you think that is something maintainable?
So yeah, the growth is pretty much maintainable, and that's why we are going to carry it for the entire financial year, even when we would be ending FY24 and 25 as well. So I don't see there is any challenge to it.
Mr. Dave, you did 170 crores in the first quarter. If you extrapolate that, would 700 to 750 or maybe 800 crores by the end of FY25 be a realistic possibility on the top line front?
It's absolutely realistic, and we are very much on the way.
I wanted to ask you one final question on the radiology order that you had won from the Baba Atomic Research Center. How is that progressing, and when is that expected to accrue into your P&L?
So that might take a little more time, looking to the quite a few operational areas which we need to take care, looking to the kind of a terms and condition. But yeah, maybe within this financial year.
Okay, last question from my side before we let go of this conversation, Mr. Dave. You know, last year or before that, we were talking a lot about pricing pressure coming by in the diagnostic space. There were a lot of online players joining the industry as well. Do you think that competitive intensity is done with now and prices will stabilize, realizations will stabilize, or maybe improve from these levels?
Now, as such, while there was a certain kind of a price wars which was there in the past, or is still going on, I should say, it's not yet ended, but certainly people are more aware now and they're looking for the qualitative diagnostics. So I guess, yes, in the coming times, looking to the qualitative diagnostics, accessibility and affordability going to play a major role, where this price has to get settled down to provide people or the masses the qualitative diagnostics.
All right, Mr. Dave, thank you so much for sparing time and joining us to talk about this acquisition and, of course, a lot about the business as well on the road ahead. Wish you good luck for the rest of FY25. That is the management of Krsnaa Diagnostics there. 1.5% higher so far, around about 850. Time for a short break. Up next, we discuss the way forward for the markets. Ajit Banerjee, the Chief Investment Officer at Shriram Life Insurance, joins us on the other side. Stay tuned.